Okay everyone, welcome back to the channel for another video on Gran Turismo 7. We're back with some more daily racing from this week's current daily race B and C. So we're going to start off this video with a race from daily race B at Trial Mountain in Group 3 on the American servers, starting from the back of the grid. So this race was taken from a little bit earlier on in the week when people were still trying to get used to the combination. I'm starting from P13, I'm in the Porsche, and we're going to see if we can work our way through the field. We've got 5 laps to try and get as high up as possible. With this being an early race in the week, there's possible chance of chaos. So going into turn 1, let's see what happens. We've got 2 cars in front of us. We've got Cyrus there on the outside. Going around the outside, we see that, cut back, and we're going to go all the way around the outside of both of them. Nice little move there past 2 cars, and we're going to try and go around the 3rd car on the outside. However, as we come into the braking zone, he just understeers a little bit and gives us a little nudge there. Nothing deliberate, just a bit of understeer on that Porsche in front. That runs us a little bit wide though, so we're going to have to take a bit of a tight line into this apex, and the car in front goes a little bit wide again. That's going to give me the run up the inside. We've got a little bit of chaos going on in front of us, and we're already up to P9, so a little bit of a chaotic start to this daily race B on the American server, but good fun so far. Now we're approaching a car in front as we go through that long left-hand corner that you have to really get narrow into the apex, and we've got the slipstream to Bob in front of us. Now Bob, I think, might have had alternative ideas to what a good race is. As we go to the right, we fake it, we get down the inside, and now we've got the inside line. However, he tries to squeeze us down left and he starts nudging into us, and he's trying to turn into us a bit there, but we're going to have none of it. We just hold our line and we take the inside line into this left-hand corner. Now he goes a little bit deep from that. However, as we come through here, keep your eye on that rear view mirror, because Bob is going to try something, but he's going to fail, because watch my inputs. We see it come in, turn to the left, and Bob goes straight into the barrier. We have now named that corner Bob's Corner, so if you're ever racing it, that is what it's called. It's Bob's Corner. Watch this. As we see him coming from a mile away, and we just completely dodge him and go straight back past him. So a nice little avoidance of a wipeout attempt there from Bob, and we're up into P8. So a little bit of a hectic start. We're not even through lap 1 yet. We've gone through quite a few positions. We're going to skip to midway through lap 2 now. We've managed to catch up to P7. P7 has a massive moment. It nearly catches it, hits the barrier, and then just clips us. That pushes us into the apex a little bit too early, but luckily we managed to get away with that one, and another position gain with a little bit of chaos there. So people clearly struggling early on in the week. It's always like that though. Early on in the week, people struggle, then they get used to the combination and they start driving a lot better. But most of what we've seen so far is just people making mistakes, not really dirty driving, apart from Bob, who I think just wanted to wipe us out but failed. So into this now, we're on lap 3, halfway through, and we see we've got a group of cars in front of us, 3 cars in front of us. So we're going to have to try and find our way through this little group of cars. Can we find the way through? We're right behind P6 here now. We're going to try and take a nice tight line, get on that throttle nice and early, and try and get the exit, which we do. And now we've got the run up the inside. Can we manage to out-drag him though? Because he's now got the slipstream to P5. So we can't really get across yet, can we? Are we able to cut across? And we've got the radar, and we just about see on the radar that we can tuck into the slipstream of the car in front. So into P6, will he go for a move up the inside? He has a little look. We brake quite late, and we managed to hold a nice line on the inside, and that's up to P6. And now we've got the run on P5 also. He goes a little bit wide there. We're going to go side by side here, but we're going to back out of that because it would have been too risky. This section here, side by side, it's way too risky. You just end up one of you going into the wall. So my advice, 2x2 through there, doesn't work. Back out, let the car through. That's what I tend to do. So into P6 now, and we're going to see if we can go for a move on P5. We've got a nice run off the exit of that corner. You can see getting very, very close, and we're going to go for a move into the braking zone. So we make it clear we're going for the move, brake nice and late, downshift the first gear, hold the apex perfectly, and up into P5. So now we're going after P4. Can we manage to catch up to P4? We've only got 2 laps to do this now. We've got the Subaru in front of us there, which is going to be a hard car to overtake because of the traction. But we're on lap 4, and we're right behind him now. Can we find the way through? So into this final corner, are we close enough to go for a move into this final chicane? It's always a good overtaking place. I know that a lot of people criticize this change to the track, but what I will say is it definitely makes an extra overtaking opportunity. So although the flow was better the other way, I do think that this version creates better racing now with that chicane there. So following in the slipstream to P4, can we find the way through? So first exit is always an opportunity if someone makes a mistake. Now he's going to the left-hand side to try and break the slipstream, obviously. We're not going to worry about that because we're not close enough to get anywhere near him here. So try and get that nice line through the apex. He makes a bit of a mistake. Can we go up on the inside of Jersey? Staying to left, giving him the space on the outside. Great racing from Jersey there, giving us plenty of space on the left hand side, we gave him the space on the right, and now we've got the inside line. He's going to try and do a little bit of a cut back here. We run a little bit wide onto the grass, but just about keep that left hand tire on the track, and now he's on our left hand side. And again, side by side racing, good racing with Jersey there, great to see. Absolutely love that type of racing side by side as we work our way through the final lap. Now once we got ahead of him, we just have to get this corner right, try and increase that gap, make sure he doesn't get in the slipstream, and we managed to do that quite well. He goes a little bit deep in there, and you can see on the delta he's dropping back to about half a second, 6 attempts back. So that was pretty much it at that point. We can skip through to the final corner, and we're going to go over the line there, and we take a P4 in that daily race B. Good fun racing. Bob didn't have the best race. He actually rage quit after trying to take us out and didn't even finish the race. So unfortunately for Bob, that didn't work. Now we're going to move to one of the best races I've had on this game, I think, possibly in a long time. This is absolutely brilliant. So make sure you watch this all the way through to the end, because some of this racing was just absolutely brilliant. We're starting from P13. We've got Ramster behind us, and we've got Will Murdoch behind us there in P15, a World Tour qualifier for the World Final. So we're in the Subaru. This is a fuel saver, so when you see me short shifting this car, that's because we're saving fuel, and it's a really good thing to do with this car, is save some fuel by just short shifting in mixture 1. You don't really need to use mixture 2 and 3, just do a little bit of short shifting. So straight away upper position there into P12. This is a no stop race, and one thing I have to point out is how much better these races are now that they've made the rolling start better. Now obviously at some tracks it's not perfect. Spa for example, it's still an issue, but for a lot of tracks this has improved the racing massively. It's now the time to jump back onto Gran Turismo, I think. If you haven't been playing it for a while, the racing is so much better. As we go for that move up the inside into P12 and take that position, we're going to have to leave a bit of space on the inside there, as he's still got the front end up the inside. However, we managed to get a good exit and make that move up into P11. So a few positions gained straight away in this race. And now we're going to push on for the Alpha. Now the Alpha is an alternative choice for this race, obviously, because it has insane acceleration in third gear. You'll be able to see that out of this corner. So watch the third gear acceleration from that car. He's going to pull away. Even if he's short shifting, he'll be able to pull away. Now the fuel is not quite as good as a Subaru though, so bear that in mind if you're picking the car for these races. There's only a day or so left on this race anyway, but yeah, it's been a great week this week. I've really enjoyed it on Gran Turismo 7. Hopefully you lot have as well. And also, if you're enjoying these videos, make sure you give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments what you think of these races and what you think of Bob's move as well before, as we go for a move up the inside but fake it out. And now watch the acceleration difference with the Alpha. The Alpha really has grown. However, he's going to have to back out of that because he's got a car in front of him that's taking a penalty. And that kind of gives me a free position there up into P9. And now we've got Ramster behind us. We're going to brake just before that 100 board and try and attack this chicane as people taking it a little bit cautious. We managed to get a really nice run through there, and we're going to take another position on the inside of P8 there and into the final corner. So good gains on that one. We're up into P8. That's really important. We're only 4.5 seconds behind the leader now. However, we've obviously got to fight our way through quite a few cars before we get anywhere near that battle. And as we come into turn 1, you can see one car going a little bit wide there, P7. We're going to try and cut back and go a little bit wide here and try and do a little bit of a cut back line to try and see if we can take it a wider line. And yeah, he's got the inside still, so we couldn't do the cut back line. And now we're going to go round the outside and see if we can hang it all the way around the outside. Now normally this doesn't work, going completely round the outside. However, he seems to be a bit cautious there, which gives me the position, and we're up into P7 behind Tonic. Now we're going to skip a little bit further on in the race, and we're still behind Tonic here. You can see we've got Tonic right in front of us, and he runs a little bit wide there, just picks up a little half a second penalty. You can see it with that left hand tyre over the white line. Unfortunately for him, that's going to give me a free position, so I'll take that one when he takes that penalty, as we see a few drivers quitting out the race there and into this right hand corner, staying in 4th gear, trying to get a good solid exit from this corner, and yeah, take that penalty. See that that's a free position for us, and up into P6. So now in P Steve, can we find our way any further up in this race? We're only on lap 2, and this is what I'm saying. The racing's just so much better now since they've made that change with the rolling start, and it's just improved the racing, I think, and the enjoyment. Even on a no-stop race like this, it's so much more fun. Much better by PD. Good stuff. I'm glad they're listening. It's clear they are listening. They just need to improve the speed at which they make these changes, because it does take them a while. Now we've got the run on P5. Can we find a way past this driver in front of us? We've got the slipstream with short shifting though. You can see I'm doing the short shifting, but I'm going to go for a little bit of a fake send here. So we're going to have a little look up the inside, but not actually send it. Slow the car down. He falls for that one, and he actually breaks too deep, and that gives us a nice position there up into P5, and now we're behind P4 in the Alpha. So we've got another Alpha to try and get past. We're going on the inside. Can we go for a little bit of a send? He runs a little bit wide there. He's going to get dirty tyres from that, so that should make this a little bit easier as we come through this left-hand corner, because he won't have the grip. You can see that up into P4. Great start to this race, and now it's going to get a little bit harder to try and catch these drivers up. You can see behind us there just how much closer the racing is and how good it looks on the replay cameras. Now, this is a proper touring car style race. Absolutely brilliant stuff as we work our way through these laps and trying to find our way up into the front battle. You can see the top two there in the distance having a race, and they're starting to fight a little bit, but we've got a nice bit of clean space now, so we can do a bit of fuel saving until we catch back up to P3. You can see we've got quite close here, and as P3 goes over that chicane, it looks like he cuts the corner there a little bit too much off the chicane. Did he? He did. Half a second penalty for P3, so let's see if we can push on, get past him, and then we can see if we can work up towards that lead battle in this race. So midway through lap 4, you can see we're right behind P3. He's still got to take that penalty. Can we find the way past him before he actually takes that penalty? Let's see, as Jared doesn't get the best exit off that corner. We get quite a nice smooth exit, and I think he's actually going to put his indicator on there. You're going to just see it there. I think he's just letting us take that position on the inside. He's not going to fight it because he's got half a second penalty. So really, it's better for him to just let us go, use our slipstream, and drag him forward rather than fight it and lose even more time. He's already got half a second penalty, so sensible driving by Jared there. And now we're starting lap 5. You can see we go over the line with not the best lap, but a reasonable 204.5, and then we're going to go over the line again, catching ever so slightly each lap. You can see a little bit of gain on P2 and P1 every single lap as we come to lap 6. Again, nearly in the slipstream now. We're definitely getting closer, and they're starting to fight now, which is good for me as we get again the fastest lap of the race, and you can see up ahead they're going really aggressive there. That's good for me because that means we're going to get a little bit closer as we come to them final few laps. And then you can see they're going side by side. Ancient Pleb there goes a little bit wide, but he's going to try and cut back on the inside. That's not going to work, and it looks like the Spanish driver has took the lead. But this is all good for me because we've still got good fuel. You can see my fuel is saying 3 laps to go, and we've actually gone past the point of 3 laps. So fuel is looking quite good. I'm concentrating on saving that fuel because I want to be able to push for the last 2 laps. We run a little bit wide, as does Ancient Pleb there. Both of us running quite a bit wide on that corner, getting a bit of understeer. And now into this left-hand corner, you can see that Ancient Pleb just about hanging on to P1 there. Doesn't seem like the dirty tyres have affected him too much. However, on the exterior, he gets on the power and gets onto the gravel, and Ancient Plebs it. So we're up to P2 now, and now we're going to push for the win in this daily race C. Now this is where it's going to get really, really interesting. We managed to catch up to the leader at the midway point on lap 8, so a lap and a half to go pretty much, maybe a bit under a lap and a half, sorry, a bit more than a lap and a half, but you can see the fuel is still looking very, very good. Now what I decided to do here was just save fuel for a bit. Let's just hang back. I used mixture free, just save a bit of fuel, stay in the slipstream, because I know that P1 was saving fuel behind Ancient Pleb. He was doing a lot of fuel saving, probably saving fuel for that final lap so we can go 100%. So I need to try and save my fuel to do something similar so we can go aggressive as well on that final lap. This is going to be a brilliant ending to this race, and I have to say, stick around for this because this is the type of racing that you want to see on Gran Turismo 7, and it's so enjoyable to be involved with. As we have a little look on that replay camera, you can see just how close this battle is. We're right up behind him. We're in the perfect position to try and go for this lead. So we take the wide line from the corner. That's going to give me better exit speed as I get on the power nice and early. And now we've got that slipstream to P1. Can we go for a move? He's actually going to hold the inside line for the chicane. So he's going to try and hold the inside line. I'm going to go flat out round the outside and try and take the chicane. So we've got that position. You can see we're over a car length ahead. He brakes very, very late. A little bit too late possibly. We give him the space on the inside. There's a little nudge there. We still manage to take the corner properly and give him the space on the exit. So nice move up into P1. And now the battle is going to get very, very, very intense all the way on this final lap on Daily Race C. So pushing now for this final lap. You can see the fuel looking very good. 1.3, 1.2, 13%. I would have liked a little bit more to go completely aggressive, but it's good enough that we can fight for this position. He's going to try and fight this as well. It looks like his fuel is pretty good because he seems to be going very aggressive in the acceleration zone. So my guess, he saved a lot of fuel behind Ancient Pleb, just sitting behind slipstream, using mixture, stuff like that, short shifting, and now he's going aggressive. So this is going to be a proper intense battle. He's going to try and work my car to the inside there. We're going to hold the inside. As long as we get on the power nice and early and hold the apex, we should be able to cover that one. And through this corner, run a little bit wide, but manage to get back on the track. He follows the exact same line as us there. And now we've got that gap to about 3 tenths, just under that. We're doing some pretty good lap time. You see purple sector, even though we're defending. So reasonable pace at this point. Now into this right hand corner, Try and get on that throttle as early as I can. Run a little bit wide there, actually. That's going to give him the run. You can see he's now got the run. He's going to go down the left-hand side because I'm going to defend the inside to this corner because that's where I'd rather be for a defensive line. We're going to brake nice and early on the brakes there. Hold a tight line. You can see that works nicely. We just block that inside line so we can't go for a move back up the inside. And we both run a little bit wide into the gravel. Now, as we come through this left-hand corner, you can see he's got a little bit of a run, but I don't think his car was in a position to go for a move, but he does try it. We managed to just about keep the car on the track limits and hold on to the P1. Now we've got the inside line. He's going to try and go around the outside of the track and take a wider line, but we managed to take a nice line through this corner, and now we're going to have to go through the inside line. Now he's got that wide line, which is going to give him better exit speed off this final corner, but we've got the fuel. Let's keep pushing. This is going to be intense as we're going to go side by side now into the final chicane. What a battle this is for the lead in this race. We started at the back, so whatever happens in this, we've done a good job. And into the braking zone. We brake as late as we can. He brakes late. We take the inside line. We're trying to give him the space on the exit there. He goes over the curb because I think there was a tiny bit of contact. And because of the tiny bit of contact, he's able to get away without taking a penalty. So he manages to get himself up into P1. And what a battle that was, chat. Absolutely insane stuff. This is why we love Gran Turismo 7. And this is why we play racing games in general, for battles like that. Look at that. So close. Brilliant racing. Absolutely brilliant racing all the way through. So let's have a little look at that move at the end. He goes around the outside. There's a tiny bit of contact there. He cuts the corner, obviously, because he knows he can get away with it with the contact. And that gives him the inside line. And he takes the win there. Brilliant racing. Thoroughly enjoyable. I hope you lot enjoyed that video. And I'll be back with more of these. So make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button. And I'll see you all for more streams and videos in the future. Bye, everyone.